Okay, plan for today. First of all, it's been a long time since I've been here, so plan for today is just to kind of, ease back into things, testing out my Osmo Action with, I'll show you the setup in a bit. I filmed with this exact setup in Lima a few months ago now, and I noticed it was giving me some clicks, and I think it's because I had the microphone to the side. So we're gonna see if having the microphone up the proper way, the way it was designed to be with the shock absorber thing, let's see if that works better. So what I'm gonna do today is just have this little vlog style video explaining a few things about stuff that's happened, why I've taken a little bit of an unplanned break from YouTube, back in a new place. Well, in a new place, it's a big mess. Having this desk space now, I feel a little bit more ready to get back into things full swing, but I'm not gonna rush it. So coffee, bagel, admin, and while I do all that stuff, we'll do some explaining, waiting for a delivery. If the delivery arrives in time, we'll go for a walk as well. All right, don't know what I'm doing. Those of you that have been watching the channel since 2020, that's when I started taking the channel seriously. I'd been posting quite successfully once a week since 2020, once a week with no problem really. Lame. Wait, sometimes it's a little bit stressful, but it was fairly easy for me to get it done one video a week with the intention of improving on the quality through stages. In May, something pretty bad happened to my cat. Got killed by 3 dogs, and I knew how important she was to me, how important she was in my life, but I didn't realize that I knew that when the day came, I would be destroyed if she were to die. But in my head, her death I thought it would be in like maybe 6, 7, 10 years time or something, and it would be one of those situations where, she's old, she's had a good life, she's been happy, but now it's time for her to say goodbye because she's old and sick or something like that. But 3 dogs killed her. It was sudden, and I think the whole entire trauma is also topped with an overwhelming dose of guilt, and since then I haven't been able to really. It's just enjoying art is just not possible. I don't know. This has been my breakfast for the past 3 days, and it looks like from tomorrow it'll be peanut butter and pickles again. I've never been much of a breakfast person. I usually skip breakfast, but over the past few months, maybe it actually started after this whole break from YouTube happened, break from art and stuff happened. I started eating in the mornings again. Well, not again, since I was a young adult, I didn't eat breakfast. Unless I was actually hungry, I've never been much of a breakfast eater, but now I am. I don't know what that means. Also, I don't know, I just find that I go to sleep a little earlier, I wake up a little earlier. I think I'm going through a life change. So not a day goes by that I don't think about her, and I'm pretty sure that not a day has gone by where I don't cry about the whole situation. I have dreams about a different situation where when I'm looking for her, instead of being too late, I actually find her in time. And it doesn't mean that I've just stopped living or anything. Like, I'm just doing what needs to get done. I'm getting on with life. I'm not complaining to people about it and stuff. It's just the YouTube thing. I think YouTube was such a pleasure, or has been, or is such a pleasure to me, and it's just the guilt kind of stops me. There's like a threshold. I said this in one of my Instagram reels, when the pain was still quite recent, that there's like a threshold that I think subconsciously that I'm placing on like happiness, though I do obviously get happy and stuff like that. But with this little new space that I've made on that table there, I'm getting ready to get back into it. The ideas are all coming back to me. I'm getting excited at the idea of posting again and stuff like that, so that's good. And I've got some just thoughts about the channel in general that I think I'll just share throughout this day. But first I need to go get my coffee. I think it's ready. Eat my bagel. I'm not sure I'm going to film this part because I'd like to eat in peace, and we're going to spend the whole day together anyway. Yes, so the plan for today: breakfast, admin, wait for the package to arrive, and then maybe we go for a walk together and we talk about the channel and stuff like that. Channel thoughts, sneak a bite in. I already meshed myself, haven't I? I had the NDCPL on while we were outside. I had 2 different ones on actually, one for me and one for the birds. My best angle is actually from that because of my double, triple, my 7 chins. But this will be easier for me. So it's not like I haven't been doing any photography or anything creative. So before the whole thing happened, I'd agreed to shoot a wedding. So I did that. It's one of those situations where you just have to get on with things. I shot the wedding. The bride and groom it was my first wedding, and the bride and groom were so happy with the final results that they actually paid me extra. Which I don't know if that's the thing, but they paid me extra because they were really happy with the final products. And shortly after that, I went to Lima to visit family, and I took my camera out for the first time for myself, but not for art and not for taking photos actually. So what the deal with Lima is that it's a pretty unsafe country, relatively speaking, and anytime I saw a family member or my mom constantly kept telling me, just be careful with your camera, be careful with your camera, which made me scared to take my camera out anyway. So at one point I just thought one morning, okay, I'm gonna go for a coffee, I'm gonna go for a walk, I'm taking my camera out and I'm gonna see if I still have my camera by the end of the morning, because I can't just be here with my camera, too scared to take my camera out, because I would like to take some photos by the end of the trip, even though the purpose of the trip was to see family. So the one morning I just took the camera out to kind of test the waters. Initially I first put it in my backpack so no one could know I had a camera. And then I saw this cute dog. His name was Puerco, which means pork in Spanish. His name's Puerco, and I asked Puerco's owner, Puerco's dad, if I could take some photos, and that was that. That's the first set of photos I took. I enjoyed myself. I enjoyed speaking about the photos to Puerco's dad, and that kind of reignited things for me. But it's not the same. And it will be again. After that, I went with a group of friends on a obviously a planned trip to the Philippines, and I got what I believe are some beautiful photos. So it's all coming back slowly, and I can feel it. I can feel I'm ready to get back into enjoying it again. This isn't a worries me video. The guilt has stopped me from being creative, or the guilt has stopped me from enjoying myself. It's not that. It's just when it happened, the desire just went away, and I don't know if it was driven by guilt and shame and sorrow. I think I'm still in the whole denial phase of the whole thing, because I sometimes get these daydream moments where the neighborhood chat group is going to say, oh, the vet just announced that this cat was brought in dead, and turns out she wasn't actually dead. We helped her, now she's fully recovered, and who's the owner of this cat? I was so traumatized that I don't even know if they took my number or anything when the whole thing the entire timing of the whole thing was that I had a friend with me there, a friend who I so rarely see, and he visited within 5 minutes I got the phone call. He was busy helping me try find. But the point is, I think I'm still in the denial phase, because I need to accept the fact that she's no longer, Okay, gonna clean these, which I've been using, and then next topic of conversation. I was hoping that each segment of me here in different places was kind of like a concise little point, a little sub-chapter within this episode, but I think I just threw 2 in there. So I sort of was still on that topic of denial. I think with stages of grief, everything up until acceptance, I guess, is a type of denial, and I don't know exactly what the steps are. I don't know, but I think what I am at now before the whole acceptance phase is that I'm in this anger. I'm really angry, and at first I was angry at myself, but now I find myself being really angry at the kids that were walking around with those dogs that weren't on a lead. I'm really angry at them. And I'm not angry at the dogs, but I'm angry at the people. Why are they walking around the street? Yeah, without a lead on. This entire thing, Mac system stuff, is completely new to me. I was a Windows user up until a few months ago. Julia got me this as a surprise, and it took, from the time of getting it to the time of full on 100% of the time using this, it took actually a couple of months to transition over to the Mac system. I'm still getting used to this keyboard here. This keyboard is a very old one that we managed to get off of someone who's not using it anymore. Small, getting used to it. The whole entire, there's so much about the Mac system that it's just these little things that can be great, but also they're so different to how my workflow was with the Windows system. Something as simple as how icons are visualized in the windows and stuff like that is just, I'm still getting used to it. And I guess that's one thing moving forward with the channel that's going to be different. Not that it's going to impact the quality of the work that I put out, but it might play a role in a few things. Maybe I'll make a video about my experience going over, or the things that actually quite annoy me about the Mac system compared to Windows. I don't know, or maybe I won't do anything about it and just not complain, just get on with it. But it hasn't been as straightforward as I thought it would be. There's two things that I love about this in comparison to my Alienware. First and foremost, the size. I can travel with this absolutely no problem. I can edit on this without the need of a drive for my projects, a drive for my Cache and Scratch, and a drive for the program. I don't think I would have actually needed that on my Alienware, but that's how I work. It's how I'm still working now with my Mac system, even with this Mac Silicon that's apparently great for doing without, which I do without when I find myself in a situation where I just don't want to take everything out. So I've edited at the airport before and stuff like that. So the size, this thing can just slip into my backpack, no problem. It can fit into my camera bag, my rolly bag, no problem. Whereas with the Alienware, it was way thicker. If I'm not mistaken, the Alienware is like almost 8 kilos. 7.5 kilos. I'll double check that. I'll put the number here. I might be way off, but it's a very heavy. Some airlines, when I was just in the Philippines, some airlines don't allow you to take a hand luggage that's more than 7 kilos. So that would have just been my laptop, and they don't allow a laptop on the side. And they even, on the one airline that we were at, they said that they were even going to weigh our bags before getting onto the plane, which they didn't do. But yeah, it's something to take into consideration. So this has been great in terms of its size, its portability, in comparison to what it can actually achieve for your editing in general. And the other thing has been AirDrop. AirDrop has made things great, so I can just shoot with my phone. You know how AirDrop works, but I have had some issues with AirDrop, which I might make a video about. Okay, back with the admin. You know what, now that we're on the topic of the Mac, and this is a video that's kind of an update and moving forward the channel type of video, I've encountered a lot of issues actually, even though this Mac, the M1 silicon and blah blah blah, all that cool stuff about the Mac, I've encountered more issues in these past couple of months with Premiere Pro in comparison to my Windows system. Now that I'm using a Mac, I'm getting a little bit worried about it with how many little things are not working in Premiere Pro on my Mac that were perfectly fine on my Windows. Something as simple as putting in a shape in the graphics tab, putting in a shape, filling it with color, it doesn't show. Little things, constant crashes. The one thing that I can say with regard to crashes, my Windows system wasn't immune to crashes. My Adobe would crash on my Windows system as well, and that would be detrimental at times. But whenever I've crashed, my Premiere Pro has crashed on my Mac, it's been pretty up to date with its autosave. So when I open it up again after the crash, I pretty much am where I left off. But it's happening way too often. With the Windows system, I figured out exactly what needs to be done to avoid crashes, and it doesn't apply to the Windows, and I'm a little bit nervous. So I've actually decided to go, I've already downloaded again DaVinci Resolve. It's the first editing software I ever used, but I never gave myself the opportunity to get into it properly. So I am going to, maybe, depending on my mood, the next videos that I edit will probably be with DaVinci Resolve, not Studio, so the free version, see how that goes. I'm quite keen to get into learning a new skill, so it could be really cool to do that for the remainder of this year, really get into DaVinci Resolve and possibly even get the paid version if I find that I am enjoying it. And on that, I'm considering getting, so the software is like $295, and you can get this little cool thingamabob. It's called the Fast Editor, I think, where it's $100 more than that, but that comes with DaVinci Resolve Studio anyway, so might consider doing that. I don't know. I'll keep you posted on that, maybe on my Instagram and stuff like that. I don't think it warrants a video in of itself just yet. So I'm here about to edit the vlog that I literally just put together today. I updated my Premiere Pro a few days ago in anticipation of getting back into the swing of things, and the entire interface is different. It's completely different. I don't even know what I'm doing. I think I might have to actually watch tutorials to understand what's happening, or I'm gonna just have to revert to a previous version. But it almost kind of enforces my move over to DaVinci Resolve, because yeah, so you get the expression, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But you know, Adobe Premiere, especially on Macs, is broke. So I guess they're fixing it, but I'm sure that it's better. But I don't feel like watching tutorials on a software that I've been working with for years. This should be intuitive, and so far it's not intuitive. Or maybe I'm just being totally silly. I've just spent the entire rest of the afternoon trying to figure out how to overcome. So what I edit in Premiere Pro on my Mac isn't what is exported, or isn't what I see in my final product. So there's a lot that you can get to add as a preset after your edits during the export process, because apparently the QuickTime version, I don't really get it. QuickTime just washes out your saturation and decreases the contrast. It's an issue that I've never encountered. Just to very quickly clarify on what I'm saying there, I totally understand that different monitors are differently calibrated, and different types of mediums will express colors differently. But this is Premiere Pro in my Mac. What I see, what I've edited, exported, still in my Mac, the final video that's exported on that same screen looks completely different. I'm referring to that. So don't feel the need to explain to me about monitor calibration stuff. I get it. To me, this feels like something that is unnecessary, and it's really got me. I don't know if this is something that would also happen with Resolve, but I've just uploaded the same video that I've put together twice, one with this gamma correction, QT gamma compensation LUT, and one with and one without. And I'm gonna see what if I can see something, or if it looks like on my non-Mac tablet, so my Android tablet, what does it look like on there? Does the QT gamma compensation actually work? From the very little bit of research I did on DaVinci, this shouldn't be an issue, at least not with the paid version of DaVinci. I'm getting really nervous about my decision to switch over to Mac with Premiere as my editing suite of choice. Packages here, yes. So I'll take a break from the admin, wait for postman to very kindly bring the package. It's pretty big. I'm gonna wait for him to come here, maybe go for a walk together, and then we can open it and stuff when we get back. I think the sun is in a good position to get a photo that I want to get for today's thumbnail. Oh, perfect, thank you.
Natalie, Rosella.
Yes, that's me. Thank you. Thank you so much. Take care, bye. Yeah, that wasn't the package I was expecting. I'm expecting a much bigger one. That's a drying rack. That's not the one I was hoping for. Well, obviously I'm hoping for it. I want to dry my clothing. But this one came too, and I think, yeah, this is actually just as exciting as the other one. Yay. Okay, it's actually fantastic timing. Thanks, Artlist. This is part of a longer video that's got nothing to do with this at all, but going vertical now to make a story out of it if we can. I entered the Artlist Women Creative Fund a few months ago. I'm appreciative that Artlist thought to send, I guess, a thank you for entering little gift. Let's check it out. Let's do this. I think I chose the right size. Thank you so much for applying to the Artlist Women Creative Fund and joining our mission to empower creativity. We are truly impressed with your work and hope to be a part of your creative journey and have you in our AL Creators community. We can't wait to see what you do next. Thanks so much, folks at Artlist. I do appreciate it. I did put quite a bit of effort into the application, so this little gift is a meaningful one. Thank you so much. T-shirt's great, fits great, and the book will be used. Thanks, folks. Now, with regard to the future of this channel, now seeing as we've gone through where I've been, what I've been doing, why I've been away, first and foremost with regard to my art, I need to start thinking and planning in a way that will create commercial value. Still producing art that is of value to other people, but of commercial value or financial value to me. I need to start making more money with my art. Being more serious about selling my art, selling my digital assets. Over the years, I have created many digital assets that I've been just too scared to put out there. I have to just put them out there. I have to stop being afraid. With regard to the channel moving forward, I guess I'm just hoping to go back to how things were, at least one a week, hopefully more than one a week by the time we get closer to 2023. I don't like talking too much about future plans when it comes to stuff like this because things change, ideas change, your perspectives change, circumstances change. So I'm not 100% sure, but the definite plan is to go back to posting regularly. ND64. Forgot to put my shoes on. That's how you know I'm South African. Take any opportunity to be barefoot. So this is where I actually wanted to get the thumbnail photo, but there's so many people I'm feeling, what's that word? Self-conscious. I want nice blue sky, and it's just a photo of me. But I'm gonna switch over to photo mode and see what we can do. Or let's just see if I can just do this with getting a video, but getting a screenshot. Super overexposed. Let's take the ISO down. That's a little better. Let's see if we do it this way. Nope. Let's play with the CPL. And if this doesn't work, you'll know because going this way, my forehead counts as a non-metallic reflective surface, isn't it? That's what the CPL will be useful for. So it seems as though we will be spending less than the entire day together. Thank goodness for me and thank goodness for you. I think I've conveyed as much as I was planning to convey. It's just gone past noon. I've got lots of stuff to do. On the topic of my barefoot feet, in case you were wondering why my feet, well, my right foot looks a little banged up and peeling and red and scratchy. I got stung by coral while I was in the Philippines. I didn't realize that stuff would last so long. It was itchy. It was really sore in the first few minutes, really itchy in the first few days, first few weeks actually, and now it's healing, but it's all peeling and still red and looks pretty banged up. Heading back home to end this vlog off. I'm feeling a little bit dark. I just smudged these in my sweaty palms. Gonna have a little clean. Some things for the immediate future in terms of videos. Got sent these. Some of these need to be reviewed in the coming weeks. Actually, it needs to be reviewed by next week, so that's coming up. Another video coming up, I shot my first wedding ever a few months ago, and I've got some thoughts. I put some thoughts together regarding that with some beautiful photography that the bride and groom have allowed me to use for my YouTube channel. I recently, like I mentioned, went to the Philippines. I got some great photos there, so I'm gonna plan out a full-on video with my travels, about my travels to the Philippines, in which I'll share some of the photos. I'll share the routes that we took. I went to Lima to visit family, like I mentioned, and I like quite a bunch of the photos that I got from there, so that I'm gonna be sharing that trip. You know, that along with the usual tutorials, artistic, creative topic, opinion pieces in general, quick fixes, all the stuff that I've been doing before. I do plan on getting back to in the coming weeks, actually, probably really soon. I'm really feeling it. Just this act of thinking up things to say to you with the camera, getting up the confidence to go to that area over there outside to just film a little bit of that thumbnail thing. Thanks so much to those of you that have been patient. I've been receiving messages asking me when I'm going to be posting again. Thank you so much for bearing with me during this time, putting up with my absence. I do appreciate it. I post a lot more often on Instagram than I do, or I have been posting more on Instagram than I have been on YouTube. So feel free to check that out. It's more my art, it's a lot more of my photography, and every now and then I post stories about what I'm doing, where I am. Yeah, so like I said, thank you so much for having bared with me during this time away. Thank you so much for taking the time to be here right now. I do appreciate it. Don't forget to keep taking photos, keep making videos. Again, thanks so much for being here. I do appreciate it. And I'll catch you in the next video.